Hey, how are you doing? So I had some people want me to kind of break down what was going to happen this year in golf as far as 2013 PGA Tour season. Um, so I think that when the history books are written, and they're being written right now, obviously, this year could be one of the biggest years in the history of professional golf as we know it. Yeah, and you got to think back and realize that in June is the 100th anniversary of probably the greatest U.S. Open of all time, when Francis Ouimet took on the British club professionals Ted Ray and Harry Vardon and cut him down to the bone, to the marrow. Won that United States Championship as an amateur at the age of 20. Now, there's only a couple other ones that would really even rival that. You know, the history books say that the 1964 United States Open with Ken Venturi, the once promising amateur who almost won the Masters three different occasions, fighting fatigue and heat stroke down the stretch basically to claim that championship in very desperate conditions. My personal take on it is that I think one of the best, two of the best in recent memory, and I'm not a major Tiger fan, but you have to put his 2000 U.S. Open and his 2008 U.S. Open in that discussion as well. And I'd throw in more recent memory, even the 1972 United States Open at Pebble Beach with Nicklaus's one iron at 17, and then also, ironically enough, the 1982 U.S. Open with Tom Watson's pitching wedge at number 17, same hole 10 years later. I think those are some of the best U.S. Opens of all time, and I got off on a tangent here, but obviously, basically it comes down to one name, and no, it's not Tiger Woods. It's Rory McIlroy, okay? And I know that it sounds a little surprising, and you're saying, oh, well, it's all about Tiger, and I'm telling you it's not. I mean, you're talking about a guy in Rory McIlroy now who's won twice. If he, pulls out a couple more majors, a couple more next year, I mean, you will be finding more and more people talking about him compared to Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is, unless he wins here soon, going to look more like the Apollo Creed sparring with the Ivan Drago and Rocky in the back telling him, I wouldn't mind postponing this thing for a couple weeks. It was me, Yeah, that's just the reality of what's going on here. I see no reason that he doesn't win a major or two. I see him winning more, possibly 5 to 8, maybe 9 times this year. If you talk about a cumulative between the PGA Tour and the European Tour. Another guy that I think is going to have a good year, and in hindsight, he's already won the first tournament of the year, but Dustin Johnson. And I know he was out a good majority of the year last year, but he looks to be pretty strong going forward. Other guys that I'm not sure about Bubba Watson, how he's going to play this year. I don't really know how well his head is kind of adjusted to that major championship that he did claim at Augusta last year with the miracle hook shot on number 10 on the second playoff hole. I mean, that only time will tell there. And then you've got guys, and I do think Tiger Woods, if he does win, if he does break that record, he really, he has to win this year. He should have won a time or two last year. He's got to win this year. And I think his best chance to probably do it will be at the Masters. So, pucker up, Buttercup. Same with McIlroy. I think that McIlroy and Woods could conceivably have a good duel at the Masters, but then throw in Phil Mickelson. He did well there last year, and of course won the tournament in '04, '06, and 2010. So that would be nice if he could get a fourth green jacket. As far as who else, yeah, Els won the British Open last year, but who knows what he's going to do. Interestingly enough, he didn't do much outside of that. And the British Open is known to do that, and kind of produce a player kind of under the radar, either way down in the world rankings or somebody that's been struggling to come back and produce. Actually, the last couple of years has been like that with Darren Clark, who you could basically have buried his career a couple of years before that. Was the interesting thing. And then Ernie Els won last year, kind of a Big Easy coming back for one more major title after a decade-long slump that the last time he'd won had been '02 at Muirfield. So, you take into consideration all that, and hey, it's just kind of a question of what do I think is going to happen. And outside of that, not too much.